Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I have some truly explosive intel that's shaping up to be one of the most intriguing storylines of this NFL season, especially for us Packers fans. It's all about a potential blockbuster move that could redefine the landscape of the NFC North and more broadly, the NFC as a whole. Yes, I'm talking about the possibility of Green Bay making a serious push for a power running game that could propel us to new heights. And it involves none other than Derrick Henry, the Titans' superstar, now potentially heading our way. But it's not just about Henry. There's also the intriguing addition of Marshawn Lloyd, a promising running back who could become a key piece in our offensive puzzle. Let's start by painting the big picture. The NFL is a league where the run game is still king when it comes to controlling the clock, wearing down defenses, and setting up play-action opportunities. And that's exactly what the Packers have been looking to boost this season. We've had some ups and downs with our backfield, especially considering the injuries and limited performances from players like Aaron Jones. His illness and the subsequent injury that put him on IR, along with A.J. Dillon's role, have left a bit of a gap in our ground attack. Now with the team sitting at a respectable 3-1-1 record and clearly in the buyer's position, the front office has been eyeing ways to elevate that run game to elite status, and that's where Derrick Henry comes in. Henry, drafted back in 2016 out of Alabama, has been a force of nature when healthy. Just look at his 2024 campaign. He's been a Pro Bowler again, and his numbers are nothing short of impressive. With 90 carries for 420 yards and 4 touchdowns, he's averaging nearly 5 yards per carry, which ranks him in the top tier among running backs this season. His 26 broken tackles, placing him in the top 10, and his YAC average of 5.7 yards per contact, top 4 in the league, highlight just how elusive and powerful he remains. Not to mention his reception ability, 40 catches for 300 yards, showing that he's a versatile threat out of the backfield. His explosive runs, making up about 15% of his carries, are among the best in the league, and his ability to force missed tackles at a 35% clip is elite. When you combine all of this, Derrick Henry is still a dominant force, especially in the red zone, where he sports a 25% touchdown rate, ranking in the top 10 among running backs. Now, Henry's career has been nothing short of spectacular. He's amassed over 10, 0 rushing yards and 90 touchdowns, with a career elusiveness rating that's among the best in NFL history. In 2020, during his peak with the Titans, Henry was unstoppable. His zone run win rate was around 65%, and he boosted the Titans' QBR by a significant margin when he was in the game. Despite some injuries, like the ankle injury that cost him a game in 2025, he's shown resilience and durability. His stats from recent seasons clearly demonstrate that he's still a top-tier back, capable of taking over games and carrying a team to victory. But why would the Packers be so interested? Well, the current state of our backfield is a bit shaky. Aaron Jones, as talented as he is, has struggled with injuries this season, and his limited availability has made it harder for us to establish a consistent run game. A.J. Dillon, while a powerful runner, hasn't quite reached the elite level we hoped for, and the team's overall rushing efficiency could definitely be improved. Plus, with the team's cap situation, around $12 million in space, there's room to maneuver, especially if we're willing to part with some draft picks. Bringing in Derrick Henry could be exactly what we need to push our offense into the next gear, especially in playoff scenarios where physicality and ground control are paramount. Speaking of playoff scenarios, the AFC is a bit of a mixed bag right now, with the Ravens, for example, struggling to find their footing after a rough start. They're currently sitting at 1-5 following Lamar Jackson's hamstring injury that sidelined him for Week 6. The Ravens, who are generally known for their strong defense and dynamic run game, are now in a bit of a rebuild phase, especially with Jackson out. They're trying to shed some cap space to extend key players like DL like Majabuik and to bring in rookies, but the risk is clear. They're tanking for a better draft position and trying to regroup for next season. The problem is that run game has taken a hit, and their offensive efficiency has dropped by about 15% in EPA per rush, similar to what we saw with the Titans after Henry's peak years. The Ravens have been flirting with the idea of trading some assets and shedding cap to build for the future. But for us, that could be an opportunity. If the Ravens are looking to rebuild, perhaps they'd be open to moving Henry, especially if they're planning to tank and reset. Now let's shift our focus to the Packers. We're sitting at a solid 3-1-1, and the team is clearly in a buy mode. The idea is to build around Jordan Love, who's been showing flashes of potential but still needs help to reach that elite level. Adding Derrick Henry to our backfield would not only provide us with a bruising, reliable option in the red zone, but also open up the field for our passing game. Imagine Henry pounding the ball between the tackles. His ability to gain those crucial yards, especially in tight situations, would be a game changer. Plus, with the offensive line improving, our PFF grade of around 76.3, which is decent but still room to grow, we could see a significant bump in rushing efficiency. Henry's presence alone could elevate our ground game by around 20%, turning us into a more balanced offense that defenses will struggle to contain. And let's not forget about the other weapons we have. Christian Watson, with 300 yards early in the season, is developing into a true deep threat, while Dubs has been solid with 300 yards as well. If we can integrate Henry effectively, it'll open up more space for these receivers, especially in the red zone, where efficiency has been a bit inconsistent, around 60%. With Henry's red zone touchdown rate of 25%, we could see that number climb dramatically, making us more lethal inside the 20-yard line. The addition of a top-tier run game would also help us reduce sacks, already at 18 in 2025, by keeping defenses honest and forcing them to respect both the pass and the run. Looking ahead, the Super Bowl odds are starting to shift in our favor. Early in the season, the Packers were considered long shots with odds around plus 3,000. But now, with this potential move, those odds could drop significantly, perhaps even to plus 1,500, making us real contenders. The NFC, already stacked with teams like the Lions and Eagles, could see us rise to the top with a strong run game and better overall execution. Derrick Henry, especially in playoff scenarios, could be the X-factor that pushes us over the edge. His power runs, combined with our improving offensive line and Jordan Love's growth, could give us a real shot at not just making the playoffs, but competing for the Lombardi Trophy. In fact, looking at matchups like rematches against divisional rivals or cold-weather games at Lambeau Field, having a dominant running back like Henry could be the difference maker. His ability to excel in tough conditions, combined with his playoff experience and leadership, makes him a perfect fit for the Green Bay Packers. This move could also send a message to the rest of the league. We're not just here to compete, we're here to contend and dominate. To wrap it all up, folks, this trade scenario isn't just about adding a star running back. It's about transforming the identity of the Packers into a team that can impose its will physically on opponents. It's about leveraging our offensive line's potential with a back like Henry who can turn tough yards into explosive plays. And it's about setting ourselves up for a deep playoff run with the kind of ground and pound mentality that can wear down even the toughest defenses in the league. As we look ahead to the rest of the season, it's clear that the Packers are making moves, and the addition of Derrick Henry could be the catalyst that propels us back into Super Bowl contention. Imagine the scene: Lambeau Field roaring, Henry's power runs echoing through the cold air, and a team that's retooled and ready to fight for the ultimate glory. That's the vision, and with the right moves, it's entirely possible. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Derrick Henry is the missing piece to take us to the next level? Would you like to see this move happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Packers. We're all in this together, dreaming of another Super Bowl victory, and your voice is a vital part of that journey. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news, because this season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.